Toowoomba may be a well-known city for its beautiful gardens. However, when it comes to memorials, it doesn't have a great deal to offer its residents or visitors. The most conspicuous is the Mothers Memorial, which was erected in 1921 in Margaret Street, near the intersection with Ruston Street, and was unveiled by Sir Matthew Nathan, Governor of Queensland, on the 28th of January 1922. With the exception of a few bullock teams to cart heavy loads, horse-drawn vehicles were the order of the day. The speed limit in the town area was 5 miles per hour, which was imposed by the council to stop reckless driving. And so, with the pace of living, the memorial presented no problem. The residents of those days could not have envisaged the change of pace that Toowoomba was heading for. Within 60 years, the town had become a sprawling city with a bustling population of 80,000 people, and horses were replaced by the motor vehicle, and the memorial had become a problem. So the decision was made, it was to be relocated. Previous city councils, back as far as 1965, also made suggestions and fruitless moves to shift it, but always in the face of strong opposition, and so it stood fast. Now, after 63 years, the point of no return had been reached. Today's gathering, which could almost be called a ceremony, climaxes months of public discussions highlighted by sharp differences of opinion on the reasons, wisdoms, rights and practicability of relocating the memorial from its present location to an East Creek Park garden setting. Amid the noise of the traffic and the clatter of the scaffolding being erected, the handful of protesters decided to hold a wake as they gathered to watch the dismantling commence. The Mayor, Alderman Clive Berghofer, presented himself for criticism, and certainly got it. This was a gesture that won him great admiration. As the giant crane began to advance towards the orb, a very nervous stonemason, Mr. Peter Kenyon, affixed the sling, and so it came down piece by piece. During the storm, which was still raging over the relocation, a piece of reclaimed land amid a beautiful park setting was being prepared, which was adding fuel to the fire already kindled by the city fathers. The situation had reached a point of no return. Work was about to reach fever pitch. A deadline had been set. The job had to be finished before Armistice Day, and that only left 5 weeks. The project was carried through without mishap. In spite of some dire predictions, the monument would be irreparably damaged. And now all that remains is a heap of rubble, which is soon removed by much more modern methods than were available when it was erected. Now it was possible to picture the shape that the new area was beginning to take. The scene was a hive of activity, and passers-by said that they had never seen council employees work so hard on a project. Meanwhile, the original location is almost gone, and it seemed that after all these years, the memorial was now going to be conspicuous by its absence. After a thorough cleaning to remove the corrosion which had already started to take its toll, the sections were beginning to arrive, and it was looking like a giant jigsaw puzzle. Every piece had to fit and be accurately aligned if it was to return to its original form. The project was being carefully scrutinised by the group of protesters who were still keeping the rest of the citizens of the district well informed through letters to the editor of the Chronicle. The weather was not always kind to the workmen, but the task had to continue through hail, rain and shine, and even at weekends, as that deadline was not far away. The former location was now only a patch in the bitumen, allowing the traffic smooth access through the city's busiest intersection. The memorial was now beginning to take on its original shape, and while all attention was being focused on this centrepiece, an even more historic relocation was taking place. This entrance was being erected from bricks which were handmade almost on this very spot in 1862, and were then used as a monument to the men in the Toowoomba district who served in the Boer War. Modern-day bricks were being used to form a pathway to completely surround the monument, as well as paths leading from both entrances. If the lawn was to be ready in time, it had to be put down already growing, as there would be no time to wait for new growth. The beauty of the plan was beginning to take shape. Garden plots with instant roses appeared overnight, while the newly inscribed corner tablets arrived and the memorial was finally finished. The feverish activity was showing signs of slowing down as D-Day neared. Flagpoles and floodlights were added as an optional extra, and everything in the garden was looking rosy. Now the only thing that was not looking rosy was the cost, and it was slowly climbing higher than the flagpoles. In fact, the original estimation of $135,000 had escalated and was certain of being a figure far in excess of that. The big moment was almost here. Everything seemed to have gone to plan, and after a final trim of the now green lawn, darkness was eagerly awaited, for the last ritual was about to take place. How would the floodlights make it look at night? I'm sure this needs no explanation. After only 5 weeks, the Mother's Memorial was finally relocated. Mother Nature had given her seal of approval by giving the day a special touch of bright sunshine and adding to this magnificent setting. The Toowoomba Grammar School Cadet Unit mounted guard as it has done in past years. However, the surroundings are much more relaxing and the outlook is more colourful than before. First band to arrive was the 25th Royal Queensland Regiment, leading a contingent of ex-servicemen, followed by the Toowoomba Municipal Band in their smart scarlet tunics. And they are leading some of our present-day Army Reserve. Once the flag bearers were in place, the bands played the national anthem and the stage was set. The newly named Mother's Memorial Park was a blaze of colour, with the memorial standing proud as the centrepiece. Not for a long time had such a big crowd gathered around the monument. This was a day that Council could be proud of itself. His Worship, the Mayor, Alderman Clive Berghofer, could well feel a sense of achievement as he welcomed the big crowd on a day that would be remembered as a historic day for Toowoomba. The past president of the Queensland branch of the Returned Servicemen's League of Australia, Mr. A.C. Cameron, MBE, DFM, carried out the formal duty of unveiling as he set a plaque at the foot of the memorial. To finish this moving ceremony, the ecumenical dedication was read by Father James Byrne, Archdeacon Herbert Booth, and Pastor Brian Barrett. And so, amid this peaceful setting, people who were unable to before would now come and inspect the names of our brave soldiers who laid down their lives so we could be a free nation. Whether you favoured the move or not, the transformation is complete, and as time goes by, a deep sense of pride will grow on all of us as future ceremonies take place away from the noise of the previous location. This will be a special sanctuary, where services will be conducted throughout the years to come on soft green lawns, amid the rose gardens where a wreath can lay quietly in memory of loved ones. And as the note of the bugle sounds the last post, old comrades can be remembered and a prayer can be offered in those minutes of true silence here in the Mother's Memorial Garden, lest we forget.